Welcome back to my channel. So today we are diving into a crucial topic for software developers, the hidden cost of speed. In the fast-paced world of development, there is constant pressure to deliver projects quickly. But while speed might seem like a virtue, it often comes with a hidden price tag. So in today's video, let's explore some of the pitfalls of prioritizing speed over everything else, and we discuss strategies for achieving sustainable development. So I will discuss all of that while having a look at an article that I recently read. It is this article on Stack Overflow, The Hidden Cost of Speed. And this article it discusses how quick fixes and rush decisions early during a project they can turn initial victories into ongoing burdens for the organization. So the article starts by talking about an experience that could happen in small companies. Everything starts when maybe the business team, the management team, they comes and they ask the software team, now we have a real opportunity to capture some immediate sales. Maybe could you just land us this web application ASAP? While with this urgent request, maybe the lead developer he will turn to his team and say, this is an urgent request. So let me just go and maybe use technologies that I only know so that I can do this application very quickly. So this lead developer, he'll be able in a short period of time to have this application done for the business team. So everybody is happy. The business team is happy. The software team is happy. Job done. But then a couple of months later, the marketing team, they will come again to the software team and say, I mean, what you did last time was great. Now, could you maybe just add this feature? We want to demo it again to the client, and the client want to see if this feature also is possible. This lead developer again, he quickly he's able to implement something that the management team or the business team is able to use to demo to the client. But then a couple of months later, one feature becomes two features, three features, and so on. And the business team, they start to realize that a pattern starts to arise. Every feature now is taking longer and longer. So they start to wonder, is this developer losing his touch? Why is this taking so long when it's to take minutes? What they don't know here is that this project hasn't used all the practices that the development team have used. So they are just looking at things from the perspective of the business team. They don't know what are really the real implication of the fact that the application was developed within a short period of time. So maybe the initial assumption will be maybe if we throw more developers into the team, everything will be solved. But it won't. What will happen eventually is that this lead developer, he will face the hard task, maybe to go and confront the business team and say, this project started to be a demo for a client. It was never intended to be used as production ready application. So he faces this hard task to tell this business team that maybe we now need to halt every feature and only start to implement an application that is really robust, which will mean that all features they'll be delayed. Something that the business team they won't want to listen to. Or maybe this lead developer also he could quit at the company. Maybe if he feels that it becomes overwhelming, given the pressure that this project takes. But if does happen, if this lead developer had to quit, then the new developer that will be hired will face the harder task to understand the project, to be able to have a project that is robust while at the same time delivering new features. So this project is really in the mess if such a situation is to happen. So what are the key takeaways from this? So for me, The first one is the bias of linear thinking. Now, there is misconception in thinking that maybe throwing more developers into a project will automatically have the development time. And this phenomenon, it has a name, it's called the Brooks laws, which suggests that adding resources to a late project can actually make this project later because communication overhead they increases. The coordination also becomes more challenging, and integration issues as well they emerge. For me, that is the first key takeaway of this article. And then also another thing that is worth pointing out here is that is the technical depth trap. If we have a project where developers they prioritize speed over everything else, then quick and dirty code will be written to meet the deadlines, leaving the project difficult to maintain on a long run. This project will contain bug fixes, but then the features will be hard to be implemented after a few years. Even it will even make onboarding of new developers harder. So taking into consideration only the speed of a project can lead to technical debt a nightmare. But I think that I will also make another video to talk about what we really call technical debt when it comes to software projects. And now another key takeaway for me reading this article is the importance of quality gates. Uh, every company needs to have a proper culture of quality gates within the company. Maybe they need to also clearly maybe separate what kind of quality gates will be applied for demo applications and what kind of quality gates will be applied for production ready applications. This could involve some level of testing. This could also involve maybe some validation as well. But every company needs to really have proper quality gates culture that is clearly defined so that it can also help our developers when they try to prioritize speed over everything else. And also another thing that we can mention here is also the importance of the user feedback in the loop. Sometimes when teams they prioritize speed over everything else, they might fail to take into consideration the feedback of the user on the project. Uh, Teams they need to ask this question: Are we building the right product? And also another question is that are we building the product the right way? And this is part of what is called verification and validation of the ISO 13485. And maybe if you're interested about that, maybe I could just make a video and to talk about that. No, but just let me know in comment below if you want me to go more details about what the ISO 13485, what it does talk about verification and validation. But basically, it just all boils down to this: Are we building the wrong product? And or are we building the product the right way? So these questions also then need to be asked as developers are building a tool, are building an application for a client. And and then also maybe another thing that you can also add here is the importance of communication and collaboration. And developers they also need to be they need to be able to voice out their concern during the project if they feel that maintainability will be difficult on the long run. We they feel like the deadlines are so tight and that they will need to use shortcuts in order maybe for the deadline to be met. So communication and collaboration are key, and developers need to be able also to voice out their concern if they feel like maybe the product is not built in the right manner. Now, software development is not a sprint, it is a marathon. A project will have to be maintained over 10 years, 20 years. So, by prioritizing quality, maintainability, and clear communication, now we can achieve sustainable development practices and avoid the hidden cost of speed. So I'd be interested maybe to hear maybe your experiences if I ever experienced something like that. So don't hesitate to let me know in the comment below. And if there are some other video that you want me to make on this particular point, So don't hesitate to let me know in the comment below. So until the next video.